Well, welcome back. The battleground in these states has thrown up fascinating results, and let's just look at the numbers of where all of this stands right now. And Trinamool steadily climbing now, 217, doing even better than they did in 2016. That's really quite remarkable. But the BJP emerging clearly as the main opposition force in West Bengal. And let's look at Tamil Nadu, where it is the DMK which has finally, after a 10-year wait, managed to wrest back power in Tamil Nadu. And so MK Stalin is finally going to be the man in the pole position. And let's just go across now to our panel. We have Mr. Sumant Raman, senior journalist and political analyst, is with us. We have Sujata Pandey, who's a political analyst who is also pro-BJP. And we have S.G. Surya, spokesperson of the BJP in Tamil Nadu. Thank you all so much for being here with us. Mr. Sumant Raman, you know, if you look at the Tamil Nadu results, it's not been as bad for the AIADMK as some had thought. They are still at around 90. Of course, a good chunk of this is because of the PMK, which has done quite well. But is it fair to say that the BJP alliance was one of the things that dragged them down?
Yeah, see, Srinivasan, there are two issues here. The AIADMK faced 10 years of anti-incumbency. They also faced the anti-incumbency because of the BJP with whom they were in alliance, and they were also to the anti-incumbency against the center, anti-incumbency against the state. But more importantly, there was also an anti-BJP sentiment in the state. Having said that, compared to where the BJP was 5 years ago, the BJP has made some progress in Tamil Nadu. From being about a 2.5–3% vote share party, they've probably gone up to about 5–6% vote. So the AIADMK was damned if it did, damned if it didn't. Because if it had gone without the BJP alliance, then also it might have, while it would have definitely attracted more votes from the minorities, but it would have lost this 5% vote share. So it was a very difficult decision for them. And in any case, I think that while the DMK has won the election, the AIADMK has put up an extremely creditable performance. Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy deserves full credit, because people were talking, in fact, the exit polls were all talking in terms of 40 seats and 50 seats for the AIADMK. Right. The fact that they've dragged it out to 90, and the DMK may have a majority of at the most 8 to 10 seats, on its own, is very significant, because I don't think that the DMK alone, with things as they stand now, would be in a position to cross 125 to 130 max. So they would have a small majority of 8 or 9 seats, right? Which is probably which is probably something which would give them a measure of comfort. But certainly the AIADMK has put up a much better fight than the pollsters at least predicted. Right.
Mr. Surya, what do you make of that? That, right through the campaign, we saw one of the single most point of the DMK's contention was that ADMK is a B team of the BJP. Mr. EPS is a puppet being controlled by New Delhi, and a vote for the ADMK is a vote for the BJP. So were you a liability to the ADMK?
Certainly not. We were not the liability. See, if you go on micro analysis, you will see the vote transfer of BJP has helped the ADMK in many seats, majorly seats like Kanyakumari, where ADMK has won now with a good number of margin, and also seats in the western Tamil Nadu. BJP, even in the last elections, had come third in almost all the seats, polling close to 20% of the votes.
You've lost, I mean, in the sense, ADMK has lost power. So why would you say that you were not a factor? You may well have been a liability. Maybe if they'd gone on their own, they could have done better.
Certainly not. Comparing to the 2019 elections, this is a terrific achievement. And secondly, one point I'd like to make is about the DMK's
No,
performance.
Mr. Surya, you can't say a defeat is a terrific achievement. There's no like way that I know there are different ways of putting a spin on a bad situation. Fair enough, you're a spokesperson, but that one I'll have to call time on. But let me ask you this though, that if this was such a great alliance, and that this whole constant BJP sort of spin, that double engine sarkar, you vote for us at the state and with the center, we're in power, we'll all work together. None of that worked. Voters have rejected that. Isn't it time to look at what went wrong? What do you think went wrong? Why did you lose? What went wrong?
No, certainly. See, we have lost the elections, and we'll have to, examine ourselves. But the DMK did not get a majority on its own. That is an important point I'd like to make.
They have.
No. Out of the 120 leads that you're showing,
okay, let's get the breakup
and other parties.
If we can just get the
absolute majority.
Okay. Let's just get the breakup, if that's possible. If we can get the breakup for Tamil Nadu party-wise. But while we wait for that, Mr. Surya, still answer my question. DMK got the majority, didn't? That's separate. Why do you think? I know you can do a deeper analysis and all that for later, but for now, why do you think you lost? One reason.
See, we have lost because Chennai and Trivallur region, out of the 26 seats, our alliance had won 0 seats. And also areas like Trichy and other places, we had drawn a blank. So only these 4 segments have gone against us totally. Right. Otherwise, we have done really a good show in the west, north, and even in the south Tamil Nadu.
Okay,
DMK, by the way, right now is at 120.
That is
which
the
is
problem,
a majority.
because
117 is what they need.
So they've crossed the halfway mark.
No, that 120 includes some of the alliance partners which
No. It includes people who contested on the Rising Sun symbol. Technically, they are DMK members, and therefore, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, the DMK is at 121 or 122 at the moment.
That is true, but DMK's own candidates did not win majority.
Okay, now you're really Mr. Surya, I admire you. You're splitting every possible hair. You're still not answering a state question why you lost. You're saying, we lost in certain parts of the state. We didn't gain enough in Trichy or in Chennai. That doesn't matter. The fact is you lost. And somewhere, do you regret trying to do Hindutva in Tamil Nadu, trying to do Veil Yatras and things like that? I mean, firstly, the idea itself is so problematic that in the 21st century, you are trying to bring up some, ancient idea, manufactured Hindu grievance. Do you regret that?
See, that was not started by us, meaning that was not an action, but only to a reaction to a certain group of people who had tried to defame Hindu gods, who unfortunately had links to the DMK. So only when the defaming started happening, we had to come out and defend. So it is not like something that we started on our own. So certainly.
No, but come on, you tried to take out those yatras. I mean, I don't think even the state government, your alliance partner, was very happy with that. But anyway, Sujata Pandey, political analyst opposed to BJP, what would you analyze as the reason why the BJP has had multiple setbacks today? Yes, Assam has been one, but look at the defeat in West Bengal. After throwing everything at it, including the Prime Minister, Amit Shah, the works.
Okay, so good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, election, you win, lose, you lose some and you win some. You won Assam more than the previous time, and now you've lost. Let's not say lost, but then probably did not really work in the way BJP would have wanted. But then you have to understand one thing for sure, that every third person in Bengal has voted for BJP. That itself is a huge inroad. There is almost 2,000 800 times increase in the seat from 3 to 83, 36% vote share increase. So you have to consider that. I mean, and emerging as a strong opposition has to be at least respected. They have, yes, they have definitely not gone where they wanted to go, and that's for the party to analyze that what did not
but as
work
an
out.
analyst, as a political analyst, you are fortunate not to be, party, go through the. What's your quick take? What's the reason for the defeat? I mean, is it also indicating that you can't go on banking on Mr. Modi, think he's, great leader, sure, but he's necessarily not going to win you every election.
But he's, yes, of course. I mean, I think that's one thing as a political analyst, not as a party supporter, but probably, I think today people have become smart. They're looking for development, they're looking for local issues. They're also probably looking, see, one of the things that I feel as a woman, and I have the data that I have analyzed in Bengal, women voters have played a huge role in West Bengal politics. And, that has, even in the rural Bengal, wherever, I mean, my team went deep down, and then we asked people, and everybody, the women voters were very pro Mamata Banerjee. Even all her beneficiaries, the politics, whether it's Roopshree, Kanyashree, were all directed towards women. So somewhere that has been, and also with the PK coming in, and you know how PK works, ground level connect with the Dware Sarkar and Didi Ke Bolo. So I think there was a lot of selection which was done in 1.5 years back when PK was bought on the field. They went, in fact, my team tells me, Srinivas, that they had assigned people one person, one MLA or one party person, every 10 house he has to take care of it, and they have to take care of their small needs like telephone recharge, this is not medicine and things like that. So you get a very connect with the government,
It's a very interesting argument when the BJP starts saying that we don't have, I mean, the other side has more resources or has more grassroots connect, because that's something the BJP actually talks about. But net, Mr. Sumant Raman, is this quite a setback to the BJP? Because this was a time, especially with the criticism of the mishandling of COVID, the centre needed a big win in this election to give them give them a little breathing space.
Yeah,
so that's not happened.
These are two different things, isn't it, Srinivas? These are two different things. COVID handling and
just a second. Let Mr. Sumant Raman, yes.
Yeah. Srinivasan, I think this would have been a more than satisfactory performance from the BJP had they not thrown the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah into the campaign to the extent that they did. If they had treated this as just another state election, they could have gone around saying, look, we had 4 seats last time, we are now at close to 80 seats, so that's not too bad.
Right.
But, having made it a prestige battle, having moved heaven and earth in terms of number of rallies and the number of, and the...
That's what makes it a challenge.
Yeah, the vitriol of the campaign. I think that, and to have lost, Mamata actually increased her margin from 2016, which is absolutely incredible after 10 years in power.
That's true. So that is...
They need not, BJP missed a trick here, they need not have made this a prestige issue. Had they not done that, then
this would not have been such a big deal, right?